We are live now. Great. Hello, 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 everyone. Good to have you all here. Beautiful sunny day in Los Angeles, California. And we are ready. Good morning, Sahar. Good morning, Mariam. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Chasler. Happy Tuesday to you all. I'm doing a joint live today with Doris. We're gonna read the energy of this month of May, and see how it goes. We got about a week left. And then, yes, good morning, Sergeant. Good to have you here. So, we're gonna read the end of month of May, and Doris is gonna, if we have time. Hello, Zore, welcome. Hello, 1289, welcome, everybody. I love you too. I love you all. Man, it's been a crazy day. I think Uranus is really pushing everybody, especially the Taurians. For me to move so fast and quick is unbelievable, guys. I have never moved so quick and fast till now. Hello, love under 9 lads. Hello, Ferishte. Welcome, Somaya. Welcome to you all. So, hi, Merzi. Hello, love. Hi, Moral. Tell me, guys, are you like feel this energy of moving? So much things is going on. And as I talked about Uranus, what is doing, being in the sign of Taurus for the total of 7.5 years. It's the planet of being unpredictable. So how are you dealing with this fast moving energy? You woke up earlier? That's great, Marzi. That's great. What time is it? It's 10. Is it 9:30 your time? Are you joining me from Iran? Hi, Parisa. Hello, everybody. Gosh, I just gotta tell you guys, summer is here. Today is sort of a little bit humid for the norm of Los Angeles, California. And guess what? Is the mosquito season. So how am I going to deal with mosquito bites? That would be a huge challenge, wouldn't it? Hi, Mershad, welcome. You're waiting for it? Okay. You feel excited? First, did you mean to say exhausted or excited? Doris is here. Doris, welcome. Sent me a joint live so I can add you, honey. My butterfly is here. Butterfly. I love butterfly. Hello, beautiful lady.
Hi!
Hey, Doris. How are you, hon?
I'm good. How are you, Cindy June?
I was just telling everybody that I'm just so overwhelmed with the fast moving energy. I have never, ever in my entire life have moved so quickly. It's just like boom, 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 boom.
We have
Oh,
Gemini season, and also Moon is moving into Sagittarius, so there's a lot of movement.
oh my goodness. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yes.
So I was just thinking about how we have to kind of reserve our energy for doing all of these things that are happening. And I've recently started getting on Clubhouse. So, that's a huge platform right now. And yesterday, someone contacted me to open a room for me. And believe it or not, I got in at 2 p.m. and we were there till 7:30, 5.5 hours. I was in a room, constantly people coming and going and teachings and questions and answers. So it was crazy, and it was
That's
really fun
insane.
because, huh?
That's insane.
I know. And this morning, I went on Clubhouse at 5 a.m. And then Salar is a psychologist. He's from Iran. And, little by little, they start to know you and they bring you right on top. And then they had all this joined of different psychologists. I was very patient, so I didn't talk. I just sat back and although I have so much to say, but I told myself that I should sit back and let everyone speak and observe. I don't have to be a speaker all the time. So anyway, I was there for a couple of hours and then sessions, private coaching sessions, and I look at the time, boom, we gotta go live. So I'm here. Yes. So
Yay!
let's dive into it.
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
So the energy that is pretty dominant right now is a full moon that is coming up. Usually new moon are time to set your intentions, plant the seed of the things that you want to manifest, and allow it to grow over the different phases of the moon. With the full moon, the energy is full and it's perfect time to let go. Instead of setting intentions to manifest, you can still do that, but it's a perfect time to set intentions of things to let go that no longer serve you. And we're also having a full lunar eclipse.
There we go. I was waiting for that.
So that is going to bring up a lot of things that have been hidden in the surface. The eclipse energy is very good at concealing. So when it is time, when the sun and the moon are in exact opposition of each other, lighting each other up, this eclipse will clear up a lot of hidden things that have been concealed for a while. So it's going to be filled with realizations and things coming up that you've never thought of before, new things coming to the surface. And it's going to be very influential for everyone, pretty much, especially for mutable signs, rising, sun, moon, who are in the signs of Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and what's the water one? Pisces.
The water are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio.
But the mutables, so the ones that are always changing. Since this is the
air signs.
Yes. No, just mutable. There's like mutable, cardinal, and fixed for all of them.
So the fixed signs are earth sign, like Taurus, Virgo.
Not necessarily all earth signs. There is cardinal. The cardinals are similar across all the different elements. So there's a cardinal earth, water, air, and fire. The cardinals are usually the ones that bring you into a new season. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and what's the other one? Capricorn. So these are the ones that bring you into a new season. The mutables are the ones that are ever-changing energies that are kind of in between transition. So Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and
Virgo.
What's the other one?
What's the other one? Pisces.
So these are kind of the ones that are in between. And then we have the fixed signs, which is Taurus, Scorpio, what is that one? Leo and Aquarius. So those are the fixed signs. So they're all similar across all the different elements: earth, water, fire, and air. So the mutable signs are more influenced by this energy since it is in the sign of Sagittarius and Gemini.
Very, very good. Okay. So let's get the deep reading of the end of what are we now? We're in May. How many days? What's the date today? We have the
I think today's the 27th. No, today's the 25th. Tomorrow's gonna be the 26th.
Yes. So shall we do a read for end of May and then we move on to Gemini and the new what are we? Today's 25th. Yeah. So we're in Gemini already, but let's do the month by month. How about that? We finish up May and then we move into June.
Okay, for sure.
Okay.
So, like I said, tomorrow is a full moon in lunar eclipse, May 26th. So this is a perfect time for us to write down our intentions of things that we want to let go of. Since the full moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the sign of travel and being bold, speaking your truth, honesty, being honest and brutally direct and blunt. This is a perfect opportunity for us to be perfectly blunt and honest with ourselves.
And being spontaneous.
Yes, spontaneous. That's right.
Funny enough that you say that, because today I was doing one of the sessions that I was doing. It was with this lady that she's Sagittarius. And she says, after 17 years of marriage, I just realized who my husband is, a narcissist. And she realizes that after 17 years.
Wow, a little
And
late to realize, but
yeah, and she's been a lawyer. So she says, I'm kind of confused. Like, what do I want to do? And I said, what is your heart telling you? She says, well, I like to be a coach or someone who is, guiding people through their life. As I said, isn't that interesting for Sagittarians? Because they're all about philosophy and being a healer and higher consciousness teachers and all that. So yeah, as we have, I actually told her, I said, because she was from Iran, I said, you guys are ahead of us. So in this lunar eclipse, you have this aha moment that bang, yes.
yeah.
Who am I dealing with? Who am I? And gain that clarity, where am I going? What do I want to do with the rest of my life?
Exactly. And this is a perfect energy for us to be, like I said, brutally honest with ourselves. So if journaling is something that you like to do, it's perfect to incorporate that into your routine. Journaling out the things that you're going through and your emotions, your feelings, your direction in life, and seeing if it really resonates. A lot of people might be, since we are going into Gemini Sun, or we are already in the transition, we're going to be surrounded by more people, more socializing. Are these people really my vibe? Are we on the same vibration? Am I feeling my best being around them? Really being brutally honest with yourself and how you're feeling around these new people, these new situations, and whether it is resonant with you.
So let me slow down a little bit. Let me respond to this question. Someone asked, are bad things going to happen to dishonest people? No, 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 no. Here on planet Earth is not about punishment, guys. Okay, we don't get punished really for our actions. It's all about life learning lessons. So when I'm being honest and brutally honest with myself, it's for me, because when I'm honest with myself, I choose things differently. I find my path more clearly about what is it that I want to do and where is it that I want to go. But if someone is dishonest, that means they are more confused about what they're doing, what path they want to go. So it's a personal thing. I just wanted to open this window to see we're not getting, first of all, into judgment, And we don't have a universe that punishes us. We have an extremely friendly universe. Go ahead, Dory.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you think of being honest, when you're fooling someone else, you're actually fooling yourself. So it always comes back to you. So if you see someone being dishonest, that is also the dishonesty in you that you see in them. So this is all a reflection of you. Your outside world is a reflection of your
Very good.
inside world.
Stop 1 second. Love under light 963. Listen to what Doris is saying. Ego, what about ego and karma? Repeat your last line again, Doris.
Your outside world is a reflection of your inner world. So whatever that you see in others, if you see someone being dishonest, if you see someone being mischievous, if you see someone doing bad things, or even if you see them doing good things, it is what you see in yourself that is reflected on them.
Bravo, bravo. Did you get that, Lovey? The board is just a reflection. The universe has set up this huge mirror, and whatever we're doing, our thoughts, our feelings, is just the universe is just reflecting back. So I come to myself and I say, I'm very honest with myself. Where am I not being honest? What actions? But how do I feel or whatever? So you have to find the honesty in yourself.
Yes. I think a great technique to ground yourself and find where you're not being honest with yourself is to follow how you feel in that very moment. So if you're hanging out with someone and you sink down to your feelings and it doesn't feel right, then that is a place that you need to shine some light on and reflect on. If you're doing a job that you absolutely hate and you're busy working this job that doesn't serve you, you need to be there in that moment and reflect to yourself, okay, this is not something that I enjoy doing. Is this really what's for me? Or should I move on to bigger and better things? So just thinking down to how you feel in the moment is such an amazing way to ground yourself and really reflect on whether this feeling is serving you or whether you should let go.
Hello, and Sumanisi. I think you're new. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? I'm from Gambia. Welcome, Lovey. Welcome. Okay, we're talking about astrology and we're reading the energy of end of the month. We have talked about, and we're going to get more deep into solar eclipse that's going on. Maybe in your time zone, you're already there, but for us it's going to be tomorrow. Welcome, welcome. So when you say bring more light, what do you mean exactly? How do we bring more light into things?
I think by bringing more light, it means just being present in that moment. So if something is feeling off when you're working really hard on a job that you absolutely hate, then focus on that feeling, bring light to that feeling, and not necessarily cover it with positivity, because toxic positivity is a thing. We're being honest with ourselves here. So really listen to that moment, that feeling, that emotion, that despise for your career or whatever it could be. That's what I mean by shining light. Just being present and not covering it up with any thoughts or positivity or even extra negativity. Just being honest and seeing it as it is.
So I'm kind of bringing and accepting my shadow. So I'm letting my shadow, putting some light on my shadow, and those could be the aspect of myself that I don't like or I'm not okay with it. And I become in peace, even with all those part of me that might not be pleasant. It's all about sending love.
Yes, I love that. Befriending your shadow.
Befriending your shadow. Absolutely. So here's the deal. I was in a room in Clubhouse yesterday, and it was talk about, actually it was my room that I was hosting. It was about how do we feel with our sorrows.
Mhm.
And I talked about all our emotions are creating the energy, and our emotional body has cellular memories. So if there is a trauma that happened to me in my childhood and I didn't pay attention to it and I didn't spend time to take care of it, that's still in my showing up in my emotional body, right? And I was doing a session with a gentleman a few months ago, that he had shoulder pain and ache. And when I talked to him, I asked, I said, have you lost a close friend or family recently? And he says, yeah, my brother passed away 2 weeks ago. And I asked him, I said, did you allow your, because I keep hearing sorrow, sorrow, sorrow. I said, did you give yourself enough time to go through this emotion of sorrow and feel, allowing yourself to cry and deal with it? He says, no, 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 actually, I got myself really busy. So when I brought this to his attention, that he needs to give himself time to feel and experience sorrow and cry it out and talk it over or whatever, that pain in his shoulder will go away. And what I want to talk about right now is, so often we don't know our emotions. We are not familiar with how we feel. And sometimes, because we were talking about anger, so many people are experiencing anger, but what's behind the anger? Anger is something that is showing itself up here. But so often I see, especially with women, behind anger is shame. And because we're not aware of us being shameful, we reacted that shameful feeling that we couldn't dealt with or we weren't aware of as anger. So I want us to be very clear, especially tonight and tomorrow night, to give yourself some space and quiet time to go through these feelings and see what are these feeling about, and is that the real truth feeling, or is there something else behind the feeling that you're experiencing on surface?
Yes, that's honestly really difficult because in our society, we always try to cover up negative emotion with, something else, distraction, positivity, do this, do that, go work, go for a walk, do your running, do something. And we rarely sit with our negative emotions because it feels so uncomfortable. But we need to become friends with our shadow and sit with this discomfort.
Yeah.
Because if we're always avoiding it and running away from it, it's going to keep chasing us and chasing us and chasing us. And it can manifest in our body as pain or disease or illness. But if we're facing it up front, then we can just process it right away and let it go. If we're always repressing it and pushing it down, it's going to manifest somewhere else. But being upfront with it and feeling that emotion, as uncomfortable and as hard and difficult it may be, just being one with that uncomfortableness, with that shame, that anger, that fear, just being one with that feeling will allow emotions to process a lot quicker than repressing it and distracting yourself.
So first step is to identify it, and the next step would be to sit in it. And I go a step further, which I think it could be helpful, and is that I once I realize the feeling, I give that feeling energy, and I make it into a different entity. And then I'm facing this feeling, And I tell this feeling, I see you, I hear you, you can have a voice and express yourself. What is it that you want to bring to my attention? What's the lesson? I know that you want to teach me something. And then sit quiet and allow that feeling as another entity to speak to you and take you to a deeper level.
I love that idea. I think I did a meditation once where it was actually by Teal Swan, and it was a body scan. And once you identify one part of your body that feels a little bit more tense or more tender, you actually speak to it, like you said, and
Uh-huh.
you start to give it a color, a shape, a texture. And once
Uh-huh.
you start to give it this new identity, you separate yourself from it, and you can easily talk to it and speak to it and not identify with it and not see it as part of you, but see it as something separate from you that you can
Exactly.
speak
And
to.
I think this is very helpful before we move on to astrology for everyone to really listen to this. I often say, Doris, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that thoughts are free energy, that they're all free frequency in the universe, right? So I have thoughts of anger, I have thoughts of being shameful, I have thoughts of making myself wrong. So there are hundreds of different thoughts here. And my mind, I look at it as a lizard. My mind would stick his tongue up and grab one of these thoughts and makes it its own. And then it makes meaning of it and then it sends it to my emotional body. Now I'm feeling it, but I made it my own. So oftentimes I say, how about if you feel that this feeling of sadness, deep depression, anger, it's something that's inside the gel, right? Instead of you being inside the gel that you feel heavy and you feel bad that, oh, I'm so depressed, or I'm making it your own, instead of you being in jail, switch the place, put that sadness or that depression or anger inside the gel, and you become the one who's outside looking at this feeling, this entity inside the gel, and you have the key. So walk towards it, use the key, open the door, and tell the sadness or whatever feeling that it is, tell it, I'm sorry. Unknowingly, I have kept you hostage, and now I'm willing to release you so you would be free, and I would also be free. And once you do that, see how you feel. You know,
I
it
love that technique.
it feels so much better. And sometimes it happens when I do that with my client. Sometimes they say, but I don't want to let it go. And
Mm-hmm.
I say, why? And when we get deeper, they somehow unconsciously feel, if this feeling, if I release this, I'm going to feel lonely without it. Or the ego, this is an aspect of ego that constantly wants to hold on and grab to things. So it says, if I release this, the ego mindset, what do I replace it with? So it's very helpful that I say, okay, I'm gonna let the anger or depression go, but I don't have to worry about the empty space. I'm going to replace it with happiness, with being content about who I am, with acceptance that I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm this. So we replace it with something else just for our ego, not to want to not let go because it feels like, oh my God, it's going to be empty space. What am I going to do in this?
Yeah. I feel like our ego, when identified with emotion, is holding on so tight to it, and it's holding a sense of identity to this sadness or to this guilt, that when you let go of it, the ego doesn't know what to hold on to, and it loses the sense of identity which it needs to thrive. So I think that's really cool that you said you can identify with happiness and joy instead of sadness and depression and guilt and shame.
Yeah, that empty space thing is real. The ego never want to get to that zone of emptiness, because our ego is kind of, just to trick us, is just make that a bad place. Oh, God forbid that we have this empty space. What a horrible place to be. See how we get tricked by our ego mind? Yeah. So move on.
Okay. So also this month, I think it already happened, but we have Saturn going into retrograde. We also have Mercury going into retrograde at the beginning of June.
Uh-oh. So we all know what Saturn and Mercury retrograde means. Mercury retrograde is Mercury is moving, technology, electronics, flights, communications. So when Mercury goes retrograde, we get a lot of interruptions. Your flight can get canceled, or internet issues, or things dropping. Your social media is not working, some stuff. So Mercury usually retrogrades for 20-21 days, right?
Yeah, around 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
okay, so this Mercury retrograde is going to be in the sign of Gemini, and Mercury actually feels at home in the sign of Gemini since it is the ruling planet. So it might feel a little bit concide. I don't remember that word, but you feel kind of trapped in there, even though it does feel at home. So this could manifest as energies of you feel okay, but also things are not going as well as you hope they would. You might expect something to turn out a certain way and it doesn't. But that doesn't mean that it won't ever manifest as what you expected. It's just a little bit of a delay. Also, this Mercury constricted. That's the word.
Thank you.
This Mercury retrograde is a great time for us to sit back and not take a lot of action towards the things that we want to manifest. It's a great time to just sit back and allow the universe to teach us the important lessons that we need to learn. So instead of going out there, going after your goals, being super, disciplined, it's great to be disciplined always, but it's okay to take a rest and sit back and indulge in other things and enjoy your life and your friends and not be so stressed out about the little things in life. After the Mercury retrograde period, you can start getting started on projects or big things that you want to bring into fruition. But for the Mercury retrograde period, just sit back and allow the universe to teach you the very powerful lessons.
Yeah, so Mercury retrograde means, guys, don't sign new contracts, don't start anything new, because what does retrograde means? That means you have to redo it again. Therefore, it's best if you just work on whatever task you have in hand, or touch it up, or change it, or finish it up, but don't start with anything new, because you might have to redo that again. Same thing with Saturn. When Saturn's retrograde, it give us the time, because it's a deep learning teacher, karmic teacher. So it's telling us to slow down, and then get more within. Slow yourself and find your inner world, and just try to find that space and try to create things from there.
I like that, yes. Slowing down and allowing things to fall into place on their own instead of hustling so hard and stressing so hard about it. This is a time to relax.
Okay, but as I'm reading the whole energy, do you see where the conflict is, Doris? Because in one way, we have the retrograde that is telling us to slow down. In the same time, I'm feeling the general energy is moving very quickly. So that's the conflict. Be mindful of this sort of inner conflict, because one way says no, is the gas and brake thing. One way the energy is asking you to move quickly, and then the planets are saying no, it's not time to. So is that gas and brake. So be very mindful of this energy right now, which is going to be very confusing.
Yeah, very contradictory, because we have our sun in Gemini, which is a very fast moving energy. Gemini represents intellectuality, mutable sign, so switching from one thing to another, wanting to learn everything about everything, socializing. So we have this energy of fast moving. You want to socialize, you want to be out there, you want to learn this and that and this and that about everything. But at the same time, we have all of these planets in retrograde. So there's definitely a little contradictory energy.
Zuri is asking, so how about relationship? If we're thinking, for instance, that we want to get married, or if we are planning on getting divorced, how does that affect our decision right now?
So, as we said, contracts should not be signed during the period of Mercury retrograde. And this might be a time where decisions are kind of foggy and up in the air. So, it's a great time to not make really big decisions and just sit with your intentions and not jump into conclusions, because it could end up not being what you wanted in the first place. You might jump into the conclusion of, oh, divorce is the right thing to do right now. And then after the period, things are going to come out of hiding and you're going to be like, oh, maybe that wasn't the best decision. So it's a good time to wait on big decisions in terms of pretty much everything: work, career.
Yeah, and also delay means that you can, for instance, you can go ahead and file your divorce, but it's not going to happen right away because there are obstacles that's going to show up. Paper would be missing in between, and then that means it's not going to go as fast. You can still move on with your decision or whatever you were doing, but that means more things can go wrong and it can delay your decision. We're talking about this period, honey, end of this week before till end of May. The last few days we have till end of May. Go ahead, Doris.
Okay, so I think we should also touch on other relationships, um, for people who are maybe single or don't have any relationships. So we have Gemini, we have Venus in Gemini. So Venus is the planet of romance, beauty, love, all that good stuff. And Gemini being the mutable, fast-paced, changing minds, non-committal, flaky. You might find that you're not really making deep connections with people. It might be you might be making a lot of different connections, many people, but it's not going to be as deep or as committed as one might want. So this is a good time to just explore your options and see what you like. Since Gemini is also very high on communication, this might be a great fruitful time for people to express themselves in beautiful ways, such as poetry or writing or speaking or songwriting. So the time is ripe to explore that kind of artful realm of Gemini.
Hi, Lathia. Also, keep in mind, guys, that Venus is all about your worth, self worth, being enough, your values. Venus is not just art and beauty, but is mainly talking about our self worth. So, being in Gemini, the fast moving think it could be that you and I are re-questioning our self-worth, because remember the planet of Gemini is Mercury, is the mind, is fast moving mind. So I can tell myself like, what are my values right now? Where is my self-worth from 0 to 100? What number do I give myself? Is it, am I, my self-worth is low, 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 or is it high? And then I set up some new rules that I'm going to do this and this and that to gain my self-worth or my self-love and my values and being enough. But then again, after a couple of days, you see that you weren't able to keep on the promises or the things that you want to go. And constantly, the universe is showing you stuff that you're questioning your self-worth again over and over again.
Yeah, it's a great time to be questioning as well, because I feel like with everything in retrograde, with not everything, Saturn and Mercury in retrograde, it's a great time to go within and journal and reflect and kind of build on your self-worth and find a safe place within yourself that you can come back to, even when, you know, life gets crazy out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Somebody is saying hello to you.
Hi.
Mopit Mata. Okay. Hello and welcome.
Okay, so that's pretty much all we have for the month of May into beginning of June. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on in the astrological realm?
No, but I probably would like to talk a little bit more about what do we do, how do we celebrate, and what action we should take for this solar eclipse.
Okay, I love that. So this is a great time to be spontaneous, because Sagittarius is a time of being spontaneous, travel, honesty. So if something feels right, if you're stuck in a routine, maybe in a diet, or, you know, low carb or high fat or vegan or vegetarian or whatever, this is a great time to indulge if you feel like you want to. If you're craving maybe a cake that has dairy in it but you're vegan, this is a good time to indulge, because it's okay to indulge once in a while. It's okay to let go of control, and Sagittarius is a great sign for that, because it's all about indulgence and enjoying, and it's fiery and passionate, and you want to engage in the joys of life. So definitely do that. That is one thing to do. Another important thing that we can incorporate in this lunar eclipse is building your soul tribe. As we know, Sagittarius is a fire sign, so they love to be surrounded by people all the time and friendly and socializing. We also have the sun in Gemini, so that's also a very social sign. This will be a great time to be surrounded by people that feel like family, either whether they're friends or family or neighbors or your cat, your dog. It's a great time to feel at home with the people around you and build those connections and really grow and bask in the joy of life with others, other companions, souls on this earth. So I feel like that area will be illuminated this full moon lunar eclipse. Another thing is, we talked about honesty, we talked about building soul tribes, we talked about being spontaneous and indulging, maybe go on adventures, go on a walk, do something that you wouldn't normally do, step out of your regular routine.
Uh-huh.
And that's serving you.
And also, also eclipse means you're sort of ending up one chapter of your life and you're beginning. So we need to look back and see what things in our life is not serving our purpose any longer. What is it that we need to let go, and what is it that we need to replace that with? So it's very important that we set our intention to see what's no longer serving us. What is it? What actions, what habits, what is it that we need to let go? And what do we need to
Invite it.
replace it with?
Yeah, I like that as well. Full moon is the energy has been full and it's been building up with all of your intentions that you have set at the beginning of the lunar cycle with the new moon. So a lot of people set intentions at the new moon and they expect it to come to fruition at the full moon. But I feel like we shouldn't set that expectation on the full moon, because full moon is where things come out of hiding. A lot of new things come to the surface. So all the intentions that you set at the beginning of the new moon, things that you didn't see, the shadow part of your intentions, are going to come out during this time of the full moon. So I feel like the best thing to do is to expect your manifestations to fully come to fruition at the end of the cycle, at the end of the moon cycle, where it's going to be new again. So a
Yeah.
lot of things will be coming out of hiding during this time.
So set your intention, guys. Be very clear about what is it that you want. What are the changes that you want to make through your life? And Sumane Saisi, would you like to join our live? You can send us a request so we can talk about it, because she's saying it's very important. A toxic relationship. So if you like us to talk to you more, you can send a request, or I can even add you. And if you feel like, you can join our lives. Let me see if I can find you. That you. Something is up with my Instagram, guys.
It's the Mercury retrograde kicking in.
Yeah, but I have a feeling I talked about that. And again, I'm noticing it right now that Instagram has put me in kind of shadow ban, because I see so many people are adding, joining our live, and Instagram doesn't show it. It's actually showing less people being here than they are. So I don't know why Instagram playing these games with me, but anyway, there we go. Okay.
Okay, we can get into the energies of the full moon a little bit more with our tarot.
Okay. Hi, 325ZHR.
Sudhijun, I want to know your full moon rituals. What do you usually do around a full moon?
Let's be totally transparent.
Brutally honest.
Really honest and transparent. On the full moon, I just come up and I just look at the moon and I connect and I say, I love you. And I'm conscious of my emotions and my feelings and what is it that I want to let go. That's it. Basically, I don't do anything specifically.
Okay. I love that. I feel like connecting to the moon is so important. When you make eye contact with the moon, you feel her energy
Yeah.
bathing you and
Yeah.
showering you in positivity. So I feel
Yeah.
like it's such a good activity to do on a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Lunar gaze, moon gaze.
Yeah. So you couldn't join me. I'm sorry. Let me try again and see if I can get you on. Go ahead, Doris. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm pulling out some tarot cards. This is going to be a little bit of a general reading about what the full moon energies could bring up for some of you. I'm getting the sense that a lot of us are kind of being overwhelmed with the energies right now, and maybe we're not seeing everything there is to see. There is more than what meets the eye. There is a lot of offers being made to us that might not be present in this moment, but they are there. And I feel like this lunar eclipse is going to bring them to the surface. So a lot of people might be on the verge of giving up on a situation, but this is a great time to not give up. Okay, don't give up. There is hope. There are cups being offered to you that are not being seen right now because you are too focused on what you don't have. So it's a great time to shift your focus from what you don't
Can
have
we
to
see the
what you
card,
have.
Doris? Aha. So many cups.
Yeah. There's one being offered to you that you're not seeing. Some of us might be going really deep within with our meditations, our journaling, maybe something happens that will trigger our inner worlds to come out. It's going to be a very emotional full moon for many of us. A lot of emotions are going to pour out, and it's going to bring a lot of feelings to the surface, and that is a good thing. Don't run from your emotions and face them head on, because this is a great time to be brutally honest with everything that comes up. Be honest with yourself and allow these emotions to teach you. When an emotion comes up, ask it, what are you here to teach me? So this is the Queen of Cups. She's very in touch with her emotions, and she knows exactly what every emotion is here to teach her because she communicates with them. We also have a few of us are going to have a very spiritually enlightening full moon. It's going to clear up a lot of things for us. It's going to make things clear. We might have an aha moment like this, where everything falls into place and you realize everything is divine, everything is whole, everything is perfect, and we're exactly where we're supposed to be in our journey. Everything happens at the right time, at the perfect moment. A lot of us are kind of feeling guarded, a little bit set back, and feeling like, why is this not working out for me? A little bit of dissatisfaction, a little bit of maybe feeling like nothing is ever going to come to fruition out of this, even though you want it so bad. It's not going to come out because the universe just doesn't want to align it for you. But this is not the case. I'm telling you, this is definitely not the case. This lunar eclipse is going to bring about a lot of grounding as well. We might be in a sign of fire and air in this eclipse, but it's going to be kind of grounding for a lot of us. It's going to bring us down to our core, and we're going to start realizing who we truly are, which is not just merely human. We are so much more than that. A lot of deep connections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of deep connections will be made, maybe with one other particular person. And also a lot of us will go through a tower moment where things will just kind of fall down, and you might be upset in the moment, but afterwards you can see that everything is whole and perfect.
Hi, Brana. Welcome, love. Welcome. So also we could look at it in a different light and think that now is that everything is so fiery and airy, maybe that requires for me to be more grounded than ever before. So remember, grounding, grounding, grounding. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I told her, because she wants to be a healer and be a coach and all that, but she can't keep up with her daily activities. And then there are some things that I have resistance and I don't want to do them and I don't know what it is. And I told her, I said, can you look at it that this is also a part of the journey? Because if I want to become a healer, or if I want to become a coach, I have to overcome my own obstacles. You know, how am I going to, and if there's this resistance energy that I'm carrying right now, and that comes from not being grounded enough, then I can't take care of my daily task. And that resistance is the energy that's I'm sending out. So I need to overcome my resistance and to get on a schedule and be punctual and be able to overcome all those mind thing that I don't want to do it. I don't know how I feel. And the feeling things that, oh, I don't feel like it. So you have to overcome all this.
Yeah, well said. You have to heal yourself before you can help others heal.
Mm-hmm. And Marl asked the question. She says, my birthday is 28. First of all, Marl, happy birthday, love.
Happy birthday.
Yes, and she says, does that mean I'm going to have a good birthday or bad one? This energy is good or bad for my birthday?
I mean, I think it's going to be really intense, and everything is for the better. So everything that happens is good. There's no good or bad because everything is perfect. Everything happens on a divine timing. So even if it might be a little bit intense, or it might bring up some new emotions, some new realizations, some tower moments, it's still going to be for the better at the end of the day.
Yeah, and with all these things said, remember, guys, at the end, it's all about what level of consciousness am I in, how low and how high, how much am I controlling my mind or my feelings, how do I feel with my emotions. At the end, at the deep level, is all come back to this. And as every second, as I choose, do I choose to let life dictate to me of how, which way things are going, or am I finally make this decision to take control and tap into my inner power and come from that power source? And 325 ZHR, I think I understand what you're saying. If you want to have access, because earlier she says I'm learning English from your channel. So if you want to have access to more of my lives on YouTube, honey, Sudi Burnett English, I have loads of stuff. Especially I did a free webinar for 2 months. So go on my YouTube channel, subscribe, and write loads of comments. Go ahead, Doris. Hi, Isabel. You're late as usual. What's up, Isabel? You weren't here earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I feel like these energies are pretty intense, but they're going to be very powerful in the way that they teach you so much. I feel like we've been kind of going through like a non-retrograde period where everything is kind of falling into place and happening beautifully, but now is the time where everything is, about to be illuminated and you're gonna see a lot of secrets revealed. So I think it's going to be really enlightening. I'm excited for everyone to experience this.
Hi, Shala John. Welcome. What do you mean, Isabel, you're sorry? This is a classroom. You got to be here on time. So let's see. Let me pin Baron's number. Text and see. What is he saying? Read his question. Brana.
I think it's a comment. Women are earthly angels and can be worshipped because they give us the sap of their existence to live. Heart, 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 heart.
Okay, so we need more guys like you on planet Earth to see women as this. Thank you very much. We're gonna expand you into hundreds and million plus with that idea or comments. Thank you. Can you tell about Gemini? with the sun in Gemini and moon in Scorpio. Didn't we talk about these Nafis last time? Okay. Gemini with the sun, moon in a Scorpio. Nafis, I remember I responded to you in our last live with Dorsa. I remember this question. You guys cannot trick me, but generally, the sun in Gemini, sun is the father, is more the outside, how I present myself into the world, is the ego side of me. So what are you, the sun in Gemini, fast moving, quick, savvy, a great speaker, and all that. The sun, the ego it's from the outside. Is this how you showing up into the world of someone who's very charming, intelligent, savvy, love, good speaker, and all that? And then the sun in Gemini. Okay, I said that. Moon in a Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign that is extremely intuitive. They're very much in tune. They have that depth. Usually, if you look at, I have my moon in a Scorpio. If you look at the Scorpion, there's a depth in their eyes that kind of pulls you in. They're very deep, extremely intuitive. So, but they're also, with the Scorpion, you have to be extremely careful, guys. They're extremely emotional because they are the water sign, very sensitive, and they want to take you into, once they made up their mind that they like you, they want to corner you. They don't want to share you with anyone else. So Scorpions are dangerous people. Watch out for Scorpions. Because I met this guy. He was a Scorpion, and he was like, as we were walking, he was like, nobody comes, and he would take me into the corner so nobody can see you. She's mine, and very protective. And it gets to the part that they're overly protective. Okay, you see that insecurity in them, and they really have to absorb you. Can I trust them? Can I trust her? And once they gain your trust, you got to be extremely careful not to do anything, God forbid, and break their trust, because then they're going to show their Scorpion side. They become extremely bitter, and they're going to come after to bite
Revenge.
you. What, Doris?
They're gonna come for revenge.
There we go. So be careful with the Scorpion. So now you can see if your moon, my moon is also in a Scorpio. The moon is the inner side, the female side of you, is the emotional part of you. So this is who you are. You're very emotional, and your lens is going through the depth of emotion. So you have to, Scorpions don't like airy fairy people. They like depth. They like to show up in the world as someone who's very intelligent, and they're deep. So don't have a stupid conversation with the Scorpions, because they do not like that. Move on, honey.
To what? I think
yeah, you're gonna finish up your reading.
Oh, I did. Yeah, that was it.
Moon, Uranus in true node in a Scorpio. Let me see. Moon, Uranus. Okay. What do you mean, honey? Moon, Uranus. Okay, Moon and Uranus. Hold on, Nassim. In true node. So we have true node and we have side node, right? So let me tune into that. True node is the direction that you're going towards, your life path. Where are you going? Where do you need to go? So Uranus, as we know, is about a planet that is extremely unpredictable and is asking you not only to be clear about what's going on. If you're not clear, he's going to destroy everything, just mess up everything, so you can start building up correctly, accurately from the bottom up. And also in a Scorpio, I already talked about the Scorpio, what it means. So it's basically, Nassim, you're dealing with something that you can, it just kind of like, you don't want to waste, the message would be, you don't want to waste any time on choosing a direction that's not going to lead you to where you have to go. So sit down, give yourself that quiet time to get really deep inside and see, what is the plan? Where do you want to go? And why do you want to go there? Be extremely, and then start building up, putting everything together, the steps that's going to take you there. And be careful not to get distracted with everything that's showing up. You got to become clear, strong, take your step and move up towards your life path. So, honey, we gotta end this live. So wrap it up. Tell me if you want to add anything to.
I just have one last question. I remember in our last live we talked about when people have a stellium, so a lot of different planets in the same sign. Can you explain more about that?
Yeah. So we say, for those of you who might not know about stellium, is when 2 or 3, 4 more planets are sitting in one house. So let's say, because I'm a Taurian, let's say that Saturn, Mercury, Uranus, and Venus are sitting in second house, which is Taurus, right? So right now, the impact of everything and the meaning of all these planets is becoming even more, right? So let's say, what does it mean? Venus being in Taurus, which is its own planet, is the love and beauty and all of these, right? So it's about self-worth. It's about money. It's about how do you deal with money? How do you build up safety, security? In the same time, art, being artistic, beauty, all of that. Now let's put Mercury here. Mercury is a planet of communication, movement, fast, quick. Now the first conflict that Mercury will create in this sign is that Taurians are more heartfelt, because their Venus is a planet of beauty and art and love and friends and this and that. Now, Mercury, being the mind and moving so quickly, is bugging the Taurus, because Taurus is a ball who doesn't like to move quickly. Taurus does move very slowly. They think about this, they observe things. Now, Mercury, there is a disturbance because it's telling a Taurus that, bold, come on, let's move. We got to move faster. We got to move forward. So there's a conflict created there. Then Uranus is the planet of unpredictability. Moving up is again another movement. Is you got to do your things right. You got to things will happen all of a sudden, and is unpredictable. So for a Taurus who like to sit down and be very logical and see the yin and yang, is it right? Is it, it doesn't move quickly. It's not spontaneous. It's not doing that. Now Uranus here is pushing it, pushing this sign and forcing her to dig in and do the right things even further, and is bringing that unpredictability, which is Taurus analyzes all these things. Okay, this is the right movement, and the minute it comes to move, Uranus is pulling the rug underneath, and then it's just like Taurians, her base gets shaken up, and then Taurians are not very adaptable. They hate changes. And Uranus is asking for changes. You got to become more adaptable. You have to change very quickly. So that's another conflict in this sign. Adding Saturn, the old teacher that's looking for discipline and honesty and karmic and setting all the rules right and all that, is sitting in this sign also. So when we say all of these, their impact become bigger, that brings that person individually, is going to put her on a higher class in a way, because they're not light lessons now, they're tougher lessons. That means this four planet is pushing you now. You can be on a first grade. The reason all of these are sitting there is for you to be able to the point, like maybe like 12th grade, that you have to graduate right now. So it's much more intense, and you have to be a lot more aware. And for instance, if Saturn on first grade, you make a mistake, you tell a little lie, or you don't really concrete your building your houses, Saturn would let you slide because you're a first grade. On 12th grade, Saturn is much more strict. And the minute you come to move and manipulate a situation, Saturn will say, I'm not, you're not gonna let you go. And it will break down your foundation, and it would break down your foundation. So that's what I mean when all these planet impacts become bigger.
So it just intensifies the energies of
It
the planet.
intensifies, and it happens for souls who are actually on a higher level, because as we know, the soul choose its path and how many classes and lessons it would like to take on this journey. So by this, the planet is asking us, or the way we choose our classes becomes more intense. Hi there.
Hi there.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Sorry, there's a
Sorry, there's a
problem with
problem
your
with
stuff.
your stuff.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks for
Thanks
joining.
for joining.
Bye bye now.
Bye bye now.
Okay, everyone. We're gonna end this live, and we're gonna see you again soon, guys. So we all done? Did I answer that question?
Yes,
Well,
you did.
I did. Yes. So it's the level of soul, the lesson, and the intensity of the soul. Because remember, before I enter this world, I choose the classes and lesson, and according to that, the astrology will be set up. Like what planet is going to sit where exactly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for the explanation.
And thank you, honey. Looking forward to see you guys. Please join me. Thank you. And don't forget, guys, subscribe if you haven't yet. Subscribe on my YouTube channel, Sudie Burnett English, to receive a gift of a CD or DVD. And also write loads of comments here, guys. You are not somehow writing comments. I don't get it. Why you don't write a lot of comments? I might have Doris to be here to communicate with you and push you guys to write comments.
Also, follow me on my Instagram. It's also 1111. So we always end at 1111 somehow.
Beautiful.
Meant to be.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Bye bye, everybody. Till
Bye.
next time. Thank you.
Thank you.